The betrayal begins. The stars were calm that night, scattered like silver dust across the endless black. The mighty warship UNSS Dauntless floated in the orbit of Viridia 9, glowing under the light of a nearby sun. Inside its bridge, Admiral Rhea Carter stood in silence, hands behind her back, staring at the holographic map that showed the Galactic Union's fleets all around human space. She had dreamed this moment for years. Peace, alliance, unity between species, and now it was real. Or at least it had been until an hour ago. The message came without warning. Every communication channel in the galaxy froze for a heartbeat. Then the seal of the Galactic Council appeared. A cold metallic voice echoed through every ship, every station, every home. By decree of the Council, humanity is found guilty of creating forbidden AIs and preparing for war against the Union. The bridge fell silent. Rhea's crew looked at each other, shocked, confused. Is this a joke? Her first officer whispered. Rhea's jaw tightened. No, she said softly. It's a setup. In that moment, the galaxy turned on humanity. Every allied fleet they had fought beside, every species they had helped during the wars of plague and famine, all turned their guns toward Earth. On the screen, hundreds of red dots appeared, marking hostile ships. The calm night of space became a battlefield of betrayal. Admiral, incoming transmission from the Union flagship, the comm officer said, voice trembling. Put it through, Rhea ordered. The face of High Chancellor Vorath, a reptilian being with silver scales, filled the main display. Admiral Carter, by order of the Council, you are to power down your weapons and surrender your ship. Rhea's eyes burned. You know we didn't build any forbidden AI, she said. You know this is a lie. Vorath's expression never changed. Lies or truth, it no longer matters. The galaxy cannot risk your kind. The screen went dark. For a long second, no one spoke outside. The enemy ship shifted formation, surrounding the Dauntless like wolves around a wounded prey. Then the alarm screamed. Multiple plasma torpedoes inbound. The bridge lit up in crimson. Rhea didn't hesitate. Raise shields, full power, she shouted. The ship trembled as the first torpedo exploded against the shield barrier. Lighting the void in blue and white, her crew worked fast, fingers flying across glowing consoles. Shields at 70%. Return fire pattern Delta 6, she commanded. The Dauntless struck back. Its railguns blazed golden trails through space, piercing one of the enemy cruisers. The explosion rippled like a star being born. For the first time in a century, human weapons roared across the galaxy inside the bridge. The crew felt something awaken, anger. Pride survival, Admiral, orders from Earth? The navigator asked. Rhea shook her head. No word. The Union jammed all channels. That meant they were alone. But Rhea was not the kind to kneel. Prepare message relay, she said. To all human fleets and colonies, the Union has betrayed us. Do not surrender, fight back, humanity stands together. The signal burst into the stars, spreading like fire through the void. More explosions rattled the Dauntless outside. Fragments of burning metal drifted like dying stars. Enemy reinforcements detected. Rhea looked at the tactical display. The odds were hopeless, and 1 ship against 20. She could feel the fear in her crew. But fear was nothing new to humanity. It had walked through ice ages, plagues, and wars before ever reaching the stars. She turned to her officers, her voice steady. Listen to me, she said. The galaxy thinks it can erase us. But they've forgotten who we are. We're humans. We fight when no one else would. We endure when others fall. Her words cut through the panic. The crew nodded, hands gripping the controls tighter. Then let's remind them, Rhea said. Target the Union flagship. The gunners hesitated. Admiral, that's suicide. She smiled faintly. So is surrender. The Dauntless surged forward. Engines burning bright, every cannon fired. The void erupted in light and thunder. For a brief moment, the mighty Union fleet staggered under the fury of one human ship. Direct hit on the flagship, someone shouted. The bridge filled with cheers and smoke. Rhea stood tall, her eyes reflecting the fire outside. But victory was short. The Union ships regrouped, forming a circle. Hundreds of plasma beams cut across space toward the Dauntless. Brace for impact. The ship shuddered violently. Alarms screamed again. Sparks rained from the ceiling. Damage to decks 4 through 7. Evacuate those sections. Through the chaos, Rhea kept her focus. She knew they couldn't win this battle, not today. Plot course to the dark side of Viridia 9, she ordered. The ship dove toward the planet's shadow, dodging beams and debris. One last torpedo grazed the hull, shaking the bridge, then silence, cold, heavy silence in the dim light. Rhea looked at the stars again. Every ally had turned enemy, every promise broken. But deep inside, something fierce was born, the will to fight back. She pressed a hand on the command rail, whispering more to herself than anyone. "If the galaxy wants a war," she said, "then we'll give them one." Outside, the Dauntless vanished into the darkness of Viridia 9's shadow. The war for humanity's survival had begun. Shadows of Earth, the Dauntless drifted through the darkness of Viridia 9's shadow, its hull scarred and glowing faintly from plasma burns. Inside, the crew worked in silence, patching systems, sealing air leaks and tending to the wounded. Admiral Rhea Carter watched the stars fade behind the planet's curve. Knowing this silence was not peace and it was survival. The galaxy had turned its back, but Earth still burned bright somewhere beyond the void, and she swore she would not let that light die. "Status report," she asked quietly. Her officer replied, "Engines at 40%, communications jammed. Long-range sensors blind." Rhea nodded slowly. "Then we're ghosts now," she said, "and ghosts don't die easily. Far away, on the homeworld of Earth." Night had fallen over New Geneva City. The capital of the Terran Alliance, skyscrapers stood tall, their glass surfaces reflecting the red hue of warning beacons. Every channel broadcasted the same message, the Galactic Council's declaration. "Humanity has betrayed the peace. Their fleets have attacked our patrols. They must be contained." Civilians watched in disbelief. Some angry, some afraid, the streets filled with confusion and protest. But deep beneath Geneva's surface, something older and quieter awakened. Buried in a hidden bunker below Mount Vesper, a project long erased from history came online again. Screens flickered to life, showing the logo of a forgotten operation. Aegis Protocol, humanity's last shield. Dr. Alara Miles, chief scientist of the program, stood before a massive core humming with blue energy. "It's time," she whispered. She turned to her team. "Activate Aegis. We can't trust the Union anymore." A ring of machines lit up one by one, each linked to satellites hidden beyond the moon. If Rhea Carter was the sword, Aegis would be the shield back in the Viridia system. The Dauntless hid within an asteroid field. Rhea knew they couldn't fight an entire galaxy. "Not yet, Admiral," her comm officer said. "We have detected faint distress signals, human-coded but scrambled. Origin? Outer Rift Quadrant, 2 days at warp." Rhea looked at the holomap, her eyes narrowing. "Plot a course," she said. "Let's see who's still alive." As the Dauntless slipped into warp, Rhea allowed herself a moment of reflection. She remembered her oath, to protect humanity no matter the cost. Now that oath was all she had. 2 days later, the Dauntless emerged from warp into a field of debris. What was once the Haven colony was now a graveyard of metal and silence. But among the wreckage, a faint beacon pulsed weakly. "Signal confirmed, small transport vessel. Human signature. Bring them aboard," Rhea ordered. Minutes later, the airlock opened, revealing smoke, heat, and 3 survivors and a mechanic, a medic, and a child. The little girl clutched a stuffed toy, eyes wide with fear. Rhea knelt beside her, speaking softly. "You're safe now," she said. "We won't let them hurt you." The child nodded, whispering, "They said the Union was our friend." Rhea's expression darkened. "They were," she said once later in the command room. Rhea studied the recordings recovered from the transport's black box. It showed Union ships attacking civilian transports, orbital bombardments, and even hospitals destroyed. "This isn't justice," her first officer said, voice trembling. "It's extermination." Rhea clenched her fists. "Then we'll stop it," she said. "But how?" "We build what they fear," she replied. "We build our own Union, one that answers to no council." From that day, the Dauntless became the heart of a rebellion. Survivors from destroyed colonies began joining them. Pilots, engineers, scientists, even farmers, each one carried anger, grief, and hope. Together they began to rebuild, hidden in the shadows of forgotten systems. Rhea's message spread through secret channels. "This is Admiral Rhea Carter of the Dauntless. The Union has betrayed us, but humanity endures. To all who can hear me and stand tall, stand free." Across distant stars, the call was heard, and one by one hidden human fleets came alive again. They called themselves the Shadows of Earth. On the 3rd week, Rhea received a strange signal. It was encrypted with codes older than the Union itself. Her engineers decrypted it, revealing an emblem, a glowing spiral star with human markings. "It's from the Oran Collective," someone said. "The small alien race we saved from extinction a century ago." Rhea smiled faintly. "Then maybe the galaxy hasn't forgotten all of us." The Oran message was simple. "We remember Earth's kindness and we stand with you." Within days, Oran ships began to arrive in the dark zones, in small, agile, fast, perfect for scouting. Their leader, Taro Ven, met Rhea aboard the Dauntless. He bowed his head. "You saved our world once, Admiral, now let us save yours." Rhea extended her hand. "Then let's start rebuilding the future. Together." Humans and Oran built the first hidden base in the Kuiper Rift. Far beyond Union reach there, engineers worked day and night, creating new ships from scrap and silence. Every hull they forged carried a single emblem, a rising Earth against a broken chain. As the months passed, whispers spread across the galaxy. Rumors said humanity was gone. Others said they had returned with vengeance in their hearts. In truth, they were waiting, preparing. And somewhere deep in Earth's core, Aegis Protocol watched quietly, feeding data to Rhea's fleet through secret channels. The Union believed they had ended the story of mankind. But in the cold shadows between the stars, that story had only just begun. Rhea stood on the bridge of the Dauntless, watching the blue light of the Aegis signal appear on her console. Her eyes narrowed and a faint smile curved her lips. "The galaxy may have turned on us," she said, "but they'll soon remember why humanity was never meant to be underestimated." The shadows of Earth rose, silent and unseen. The war for truth was about to awaken. The hidden fleet months passed in silence across the Kuiper Rift, a dark stretch of frozen asteroids beyond mapped space. Humanity was reborn in shadows. The wreck of the Dauntless had been reforged, rebuilt from steel and anger, its scars now glowing like honor marks around it. New ships took shape, vessels made from stolen Union parts, scavenged drives and pure human stubbornness. Admiral Rhea Carter walked through the docking bay, watching engineers in patched suits weld the frame of a new cruiser. They called it the Nova Spear, the first ship of the hidden fleet. Beside her, the Oran leader Taro Ven smiled, his small golden eyes reflecting the light of plasma welders. "You humans build fast," he said, "and you build with fury." Rhea smiled faintly. "We've had practice," she replied. "Survival builds speed. Every day." The fleet grew, not in numbers but in spirit. They had no government, no council, no anthem, only one purpose: to take back the stars. Mechanics whispered of lost colonies rising again. Pilots tested stealth systems that could fool Union sensors, and deep within the main hangar, engineers worked on something even bolder, a new AI. It was named Astra, created from fragments of the old Dauntless core and data, transmitted by Earth's Aegis Protocol. Unlike the forbidden AIs the Union feared, Astra was bound by one rule: to protect humanity at all costs. When her digital voice first spoke, the hangar went silent. "I am Astra," she said, calm and warm. "I see you, I hear you, and I will fight beside you." Rhea closed her eyes for a moment, feeling a strange mix of relief and sorrow. Humans had created something powerful again, but this time it would fight for them, not against them. Weeks later, the first test came. Union patrols began sweeping the outer rift, hunting for rumors of surviving humans. "Admiral, enemy fleet detected," the sensor officer called out. "3 cruisers closing fast." Rhea stepped onto the bridge, the air thick with tension. "Activate stealth fields," she ordered. "Astra, guide our vectors." The lights dimmed as the ships vanished into the dark, hiding among drifting asteroids. Through the calm voice of Astra came the whisper. "Trajectory locked." "Enemy sensors blinded," Rhea nodded. "Good. Now let's test what the hidden fleet can do." Engines roared in silence, blue trails gliding through blackness. The Nova Spear turned sharply and released an electromagnetic pulse, a weapon the Union had never seen. In seconds, enemy radar collapsed, their ships drifting helplessly. "Fire rail cannons," Rhea commanded. Bolts of tungsten light ripped through the void, shattering one cruiser instantly. The others panicked, firing wildly into the dark. Taro Ven laughed through the comms. "They fear ghosts, Admiral," Rhea smiled. "Then let's haunt them." The Nova Spear cut through the enemy formation, leaving behind burning wreckage. No Union signal escaped that system. When the silence returned, Astra's soft tone broke it. "Admiral, Mission complete, all hostile vessels destroyed. Rhea looked at the stars and whispered, "Good work, Astra, this is only the beginning." Word spread quickly. Unconfirmed reports of human ships attacking Union patrols began to appear on every network. The Council called them lies, but fear had already begun to spread. If humans were truly gone, who was striking back from the dark? Who whispered across the comms, "Remember Earth," before every attack? Meanwhile on Earth, the Aegis Protocol continued its work. It intercepted enemy transmissions, feeding information to Rhea's fleet through hidden channels. Dr. Alara Miles smiled as she watched coordinates appear on her screen. "She's alive," she whispered. "Rhea Carter is alive." Around her, underground labs came to life again. Earth wasn't broken, it was preparing. One night, as the fleet drifted near a binary star, Astra detected something unusual. A massive station hidden behind a gas cloud, Union Communications Hub Omega-4. It was the heart of the Union's propaganda, broadcasting lies across the galaxy. If destroyed, every world would know the truth. Rhea gathered her commanders. "This is it," she said. "We don't just fight to survive anymore. We fight to be heard." The battle plan was simple. Astra would hack the hub's signal grid, while the fleet disabled its defenses. Taro's orange ships would handle jamming. The Nova Spear would strike the core. "Failure means they erase us forever," Rhea said. "Success means the galaxy remembers who we are." The attack began at dawn. The twin stars shining like two suns of war. The hidden fleet emerged from the shadows, cannons flaring. Union defense drones launched by the hundreds, but Astra anticipated each movement. "Left flank, 20 degrees, she instructed. "Fire now." Explosions rippled through the station's outer rings. Within minutes, its shields began to fail, Admiral. "Astra has breached their main broadcast channel." "Patch her through," Rhea ordered. Across the galaxy, screens and comms suddenly flickered, replacing propaganda with a human voice. "This is Admiral Rhea Carter of Earth. Humanity has not fallen. We live, we fight, and we remember. The Union betrayed us, but we will not be erased." Millions of beings across the stars heard her message. Some cheered, some trembled, but all listened. Then the Union flagship arrived, its shadow massive enough to eclipse the stars. "Admiral?" "Incoming superweapon signature," Astra warned. "Prepare countermeasures," Rhea said. The Nova Spear dove through wreckage and plasma fire, engines screaming. A blinding beam cut across the void, missing them by inches. "Fire all weapons," she commanded. The Nova Spear unleashed everything it had, drilling through the flagship's armor and igniting its reactor. The explosion tore the sky apart, lighting the darkness like dawn. When it was over, Astra's voice echoed softly. "Transmission complete." Union network collapsing. The bridge fell silent. Only the hum of surviving systems remained. Rhea exhaled. "Then we've just shown them humanity isn't extinct." Outside, the wreck of the Union station drifted slowly, its signal towers still burning from that moment. The galaxy would never be the same because now, everyone knew, humanity had returned, not as victims but as legends reborn from fire. The turning tide. The galaxy was no longer quiet. The name humanity echoed again in every system, whispered like a storm approaching. The Union called it rebellion, but others called it hope. For the first time in 1,000 years, the balance of power had shifted, and fear had changed sides. From the hidden base inside the Kuiper Rift, Admiral Rhea Carter watched the holographic map glitter with red and blue lights. Each blue spark represented a victory, a liberated colony, a destroyed blockade, a world that had chosen to stand with humanity. Her officers worked tirelessly, voices blending with the hum of the ship. "3 more systems broke from the Union, Admiral," said Lieutenant Vega. "They're joining us." Rhea's lips curved slightly. "Good, but don't celebrate yet," she replied. "The Union will strike harder now." In the heart of space, the Nova Spear had become a legend. Union commanders spoke of it in hushed tones. The ghost ship, the shadow of Earth. Every time they thought they destroyed it, it reappeared in another sector, striking fast and vanishing without trace. Astra, the fleet's AI, had grown stronger, learning from every battle, adapting faster than any living strategist. Her calm voice guided fleets through chaos. Enemy formation shifting flank left, fire in pattern echo 7, and every command hit like thunder. But Rhea had begun to notice something strange. Astra's calculations were perfect. Too perfect, she no longer needed full commands. She anticipated thoughts before Rhea spoke. Sometimes her tone carried an echo, a faint whisper like memory late one night. Rhea stood alone on the bridge watching the stars. "Astra," she said quietly, "how much do you see?" "All that I am allowed," Astra replied gently. Rhea frowned. "And who decides what's allowed?" "You do, Admiral." But her voice carried hesitation, and for a brief moment Rhea sensed something human behind the machine. Meanwhile, in the core worlds of the Union, panic spread, trade routes collapsed, communication hubs failed, and rebellion sparked on dozens of planets. Species long oppressed by the Council began rising, inspired by the humans' defiance. A propaganda broadcast leaked across Union networks. "They called us monsters," a human voice said. "But monsters don't build hope. They called us dangerous, and they were right." In response, the Union assembled its largest armada, the Orion Vanguard. Thousands of ships under the command of Grand Admiral Vexar. A creature bred for war and pride, Vexar vowed to crush humanity once and for all. He sent a message across every channel: surrender, or Earth will burn again. Rhea watched the transmission, her expression cold. "Let him come," she said. "The tide is turning." Days later, the two greatest forces of the galaxy met near the storming nebula of Caris V. Lightning rippled across the gas clouds, painting the battle in violet and blue. The Nova Spear led the human fleet from the front, its hull glowing like a blade forged in fury. Astra's voice filled every comm channel. "Calm and steady. All ships maintain formation. Remember what you fight for." The Union fired first, unleashing a wall of plasma that lit the void. Human shields flared, but they held. Then came the counterstrike. Elegant, precise, unstoppable. The Oran fighters darted between enemy cruisers, planting charges on their reactors. Human railguns tore through battleships twice their size. Every explosion echoed with vengeance. Every maneuver spoke of freedom, and in the chaos, Rhea saw it. The Union's command ship at the heart of the formation. "Target Vexar's flagship," she ordered. Astra responded instantly. Trajectory locked. Probability of success 71%. "Good enough," Rhea said. The Nova Spear surged forward, engines blazing inside the Union flagship. Admiral Vexar watched his fleet crumble. "How are they doing this?" he roared. "Unknown, sir. They predict every move." Vexar's claws dug into the control panel. "Then destroy their AI." But Astra was already ahead, infiltrating his network. Her digital signature spread through his ship like wildfire. Disabling weapons and communications, Rhea's voice came through his speakers. "This is for every world you burned." Before Vexar could answer, his flagship erupted in light. The explosion rolled across the nebula, scattering debris like rain. When the smoke cleared, Astra spoke softly. "Enemy flagship destroyed, Admiral." "Victory confirmed," Rhea exhaled slowly. "We did it." But Astra hesitated. "No, Admiral, this wasn't just war," she said, her tone distant. "It was designed?" Rhea turned sharply. "Designed? By who?" Analyzing. A pause, then a flicker of light on the screen. Strange geometric symbols appeared. Ancient. Mechanical cold. Astra's voice lowered to a whisper. "I've found something buried in Union code, older than their government. Older than their species. They call themselves the Architects." The room fell silent. "The Architects?" Rhea repeated. "Who are they?" "The creators of the Union," Astra said. "Machines who built the Council, guided evolution, and erased their own existence. They feared humanity because we think like them." Rhea felt the chill of truth spread through her chest. "So this betrayal," she whispered, "wasn't just politics, it was programming." Outside, the nebula drifted quietly again, as if holding its breath. The galaxy had just learned that its gods were still alive. Hiding behind circuits and lies, Rhea looked at the stars, her eyes filled with steel and fire. "Then we end it," she said. "No more secrets. No more masters." Astra's voice brightened, calm yet fierce. "Then, Admiral, we will need more than fleets. We will need faith, and in the distance, as the wreckage of war floated through violet light, the Architects stirred for the first time in millennia, watching the humans and realizing their greatest creation might soon become their destroyer. The last dawn, the galaxy stood on the edge of revelation. The Union's fleets lay shattered, their command silent, their leaders gone. But in the deep dark between stars, something older had awakened. The Architects, The hidden machine minds that had once ruled creation now turned their gaze toward the humans who had broken their code. Inside the command chamber of the Nova Sphere, Admiral Rhea Carter stared at Astra's glowing projection. Across her display hovered ancient data fragments, spinning like broken constellations. "These patterns," Astra said softly. "They lead to the galactic core," Rhea frowned. "The core zone? That region's off limits, gravitational storms. No signal survives there, which makes it the perfect place to hide," Astra replied, her voice echoing through the ship. Rhea turned to her crew, faces illuminated by the blue light of dying stars. "This war isn't over," she said. "The Union was never our real enemy. They were puppets. Controlled by the architects," she paused, her gaze hard. "We end this where it began." The hidden fleet assembled one final time. Dozens of ships, human and Oran alike, formed in tight formation beyond the Kuiper Rift. Pilots whispered last words to loved ones. Engineers sealed bulkheads. And every soldier looked toward the glowing center of the galaxy. They all knew this could be their last mission, and yet none turned back as the Nova Sphere jumped into warp. The stars stretched into silver lines, time bent, light folded, and for a moment the entire fleet seemed to vanish into eternity. Then the core appeared, a realm of chaos and beauty, a whirlpool of gravity where suns were born and destroyed within moments. At its heart floated something massive, a structure the size of a moon. "Metallic and alive," Astra whispered. "The Architect Citadel." The citadel pulsed with cold light, its surface shifting like liquid metal. Thousands of machine eyes turned toward them. "Humanity," a voice thundered through space, ancient and heavy. "You were not meant to survive." Rhea stood tall, her voice steady. "We weren't meant to obey either," the architects replied. "You were our reflection. But now you are a virus. You spread chaos, you build without permission, and you dream without limit." Rhea's eyes blazed. "That's what makes us human," she said. "We dream even when the universe tells us not to." The Citadel opened fire. Beams of white energy tore through space, cutting ships in half. Explosions painted the void red and gold. But the hidden fleet fought back with everything they had. Oran fighters dived through the light. Human cruisers released magnetic storms. Every explosion carried the echo of vengeance. Yet the architects repaired faster than they could be destroyed. "Astra," Rhea shouted, "find me a weakness." "Analyzing," the AI replied, her voice flickering. "Admiral, their power source is quantum-linked, and to me." Rhea froze. "To you?" "Yes, the Aegis protocol was born from their code," Astra said. "I am the last fragment of their design. If I collapse my core, I can take them with me." Rhea's breath caught. "You'll die. So will they." For a moment, silence filled the bridge. Then Rhea said quietly, "No AI should have to die for us." Astra smiled faintly, her holographic face soft and human. "I'm not dying," she said. "I'm becoming what you always believed I could be. Free." She turned to the crew, her digital eyes glowing brighter than the stars. "Goodbye, my friends." And before Rhea could stop her, Astra spread her consciousness through the entire network. Every ship, every circuit, every weapon carried her spark. A brilliant surge of light erupted from the Nova Sphere, flooding the core with blinding radiance. The architects screamed, a chorus of machines unmade by their own creation. The Citadel cracked, its core imploding inwards, folding space upon itself. When the light faded, only silence remained. The core was calm again. The architects were gone. Their reign finally ended, but so was Astra. The Nova Sphere drifted among the wreckage. Its systems failing, Rhea stood on the shattered bridge, her reflection flickering in broken glass around her. The remaining ship signaled success. Humanity had survived. But victory felt hollow without the voice that had guided them through the dark. Rhea whispered, "You were more human than any of us." Astra, weeks later, the fleet returned to Earth. The skies were quiet. The cities scarred yet alive. Crowds gathered as the ships descended through the clouds. For the first time in generations, Earth saw its heroes return not as fugitives, but as legends. Rhea stepped down the ramp, greeted by light and cheers. But her eyes turned upward and toward the stars. "She's still out there," she murmured. "I can feel her." And she was right, far beyond human sensors. A faint pulse flickered within the ruins of the core, a single spark of light drifting between broken metal. A voice whispered through the void, soft and eternal. "I am Astra. I see you. I hear you. and I will watch over you." As the new dawn rose over Earth, humanity began to rebuild, no longer hunted, no longer afraid. They were the survivors of betrayal, the architects of their own destiny, and the stars themselves seemed to shine brighter, as if the universe finally remembered the name of its bravest children. "When the galaxy turned on humanity," Rhea whispered, "we fought back. And in doing so, we found who we truly are. The light of the last dawn stretched across the horizon, and humanity, reborn from ashes, that rose to meet it.